Hello, everyone. This is Time with Eric and Marie. It's Friday. As you can see, we're still in the same clothes, meaning we shot 2 videos in one day. But anyway, we have a very interesting topic for you guys, which is we're just going to share some advice on marriage. So, just a few marriage tips or marriage advice from our perspective.
Yes, welcome back to our channel, Time with Eric and Marie. As Marie said, Friday, but hey, we shot it on Wednesday. Hope you're doing well anyway, but thank you all for sticking with us, for subscribing to our channel so far. And if you haven't, click on that button and just do it right now. Let's take you on a ride discussing about love tips, our journey, how to stay committed for a long period of time when you commit to say, I do. Right, let's keep it rolling then.
Yeah, so marriage tip number one, I would say be true to yourself. Be yourself in your marriage. This is what I've discovered along the journey. It's something nobody told me at the beginning. I wasn't even aware that there was something called self-discovery, self-love, and all these things. Because in our culture, these are not conversations that, really come up in a family setting or anything like that. Although I had a very good childhood, brought up in a very good home, both parents really committed and dedicated. But self-discovery along the journey in my marriage has become very important and very integral to how I'm able to present myself to my husband, love him, be his friend, his helper, a mother to the children, his wife, and so on. It's all down to knowing who you are, knowing your place in the marriage, no power struggle, and giving of your best. But you can only do that when you, as I said, you know who you are and you love yourself enough. Then you can give your best to everybody else around you, especially to your marriage.
That's a really good one, isn't it? That's a really, really good point. My second tip that I'll give you is that love unconditionally. Love unconditionally. In marriage, there can be times where you don't want to even see your partner, but love unconditionally. How can you do that? You can do that by first of all loving yourself. Love yourself unconditionally. And if the Bible says the two of you shall be one, then as you're loving yourself, use that same love to love your partner unconditionally. As I said, there'll be times where you might not agree on a subject area, on a topic. You might be even angry. You might quarrel. You might take it to town, whatever. But love unconditionally. Learn to be able to forgive quickly. And that will take you so far, because as you do so, you overlook the shortcomings of your partner. God knows why he paired both of you together. You are meant to complement each other. If you've observed, within marriages, the two couples are never the same. Sometimes they are opposites and they come together, but they come together to complement each other. So if you learn to love unconditionally, overlooking the weaknesses, but strengthening each other in the process, you would go far in your marriage.
Yeah, I totally agree. So I think there's a common thread here, which is love yourself. Forgiveness as well, very important, as Eric said. Learning to forgive each other and forgiving early enough, which took me a long time. I'm still learning that because we are all work in progress. But sometimes you're so angry, so pissed off to a point where you're like, why should I let this go? But you have to. It's marriage. So
that's right.
Being each other's best friend and not allowing any third party to come in between, not even the children. Is also something that I wouldn't say we've learned. We kind of knew. It's something we kind of told each other right from the start. That we weren't going to allow anybody to come in between the two of us. So it didn't matter who you were, whether you were our parents, our sibling, whoever. And I think we've done very well on that, So yeah, don't allow anybody to come in between the two of you, no matter what it is. The two of you have the strength, the power to resolve your own issues. Yes, sometimes there may be the need for somebody else to kind of hear the two of you out, I personally would say find, I mean, today we know of therapists, we know of professional
isn't it?
counselors
Yeah.
and so on. So find a professional person, neutral, somebody who doesn't know your business, doesn't really care about your business. They're just doing their job professionally. So once they're done with you, the two of you, that's it. You're rest assured it's not going anywhere. Preferably somebody from outside of your community or your ethnicity would help. Well, not ethnicity per se, but definitely. For example, if I was to seek the assistance of a professional, I wouldn't go for a Ghanaian professional. I would go for either a Caucasian or somebody who's totally out of, the radar from within my community. Because yeah, there can be some professionals who still, just because they're in the community, can still bring your business out. So yeah, friendship, not allowing anybody to come in between, communication, make sure you are communicating effectively. If you're not sure how to do that, you can learn how to do that. Today, there's everything on YouTube. So learn how to communicate effectively as a couple, so you're not screaming at each other, you're not shouting at each other. No matter what the situation is, you're talking through it to each other and not at each other. Because there's a difference there. And just being there for one another, really.
Yeah. I totally agree with Marie on the friendship thing, and I'll add more to friendship. To be the best of friends, you need to make that choice, as Marie said. It's you agreeing with each other that you're going to be there for each other no matter what. So what I wanted to add to it is that you should make that choice. You should verbalize it to each other. It's like a vow between the two of you that, hey, we're going to be the best buddies. Because we've seen examples of many marriages where partners are not friends. As strangely as it may sound, they only come together for either sex or come together to talk about the children. But apart from that, that's it. They go their separate ways. They have their intimate friends. They do whatever they want to do. And when time comes, they just come in. One cooks for the other. One takes care of the home. One does. And it's so formal. But enjoy this relationship called marriage, because God brought you together for a specific reason. So that's what I wanted to add to Marie's one. So the fourth point is that both of you should be able to have common interest. Now, in as much as it's so important for you to have your separate hobbies, your separate interests, so that you can pursue your own personal purpose or your own destiny, it's also really, really, really important, and I can't overemphasize it enough, that you have shared interests, because that's what's going to sustain you as you grow. Yeah, so in our previous video, we were talking about cheating and all that. As you grow, you kind of sometimes lose certain interests, or as you grow, you find a new interest. And if you are not really sharing common interests, you will draw apart from each other. So that is why it's really important that you purposely find something that both of you are interested in. Like traveling, for instance. Marie and I love traveling a lot, and we go around the world, or we travel around the world, visiting places that we both enjoy doing. So that's something that I really want to stress on, that if it's either a hobby, let's say I love art, Marie loves art, we can both share that common interest, whether, whatever interest that would satisfy both of you, make sure that you spend more time on that together, because that's what's going to sustain you as you grow.
Yeah. So even if you don't love art, and let me explain. When I first met Eric, I didn't have any appreciation for art. I didn't understand. I mean, I had done art as a child in school, but I didn't have the understanding of exactly what it was, why it needed to be appreciated, and so on. So I just used to see him painting, and that was it. I couldn't really bring myself to enjoy him painting or even appreciate his paintings. It took me a long while to really understand exactly what it was that he was expressing himself creatively, etc., in order for me to be able to appreciate. But now when he's painting, I can look at, something and say, oh, this is nice. Maybe if you do, if you look at it from this side, maybe if you add this color and so on. Before, I couldn't do that, So I've had to learn to enjoy what he enjoys in terms of his art. So sometimes when he says find common interests, it may not come naturally, but for the sake of committing to the marriage and committing to your partner, you would have to learn to enjoy what they like in order for you to be able to do it together. So that, for example, if it's something the woman is doing and the guy thinks, oh, this is just a women's thing, it's for girls, it's for females. Well, if it's what your wife enjoys, learn to be in it, learn to appreciate it, learn to support her in that. It could be something as simple as accompanying her to the hairdressers or to the nail salon. If that's what she enjoys doing, learn to appreciate, learn to support her in that. Because for some women, that might be, sexy. The fact that their husband came with them to the nail salon, that might be like, oh wow, he's really into me, he really loves me, and so on. Vice versa for the man as well. Whatever, even if it's to the barbers, sometimes come with him to the barbers, and whilst he's there, you could be looking in the mirror, suggesting something, just for him to know that you're also, because it's a masculine thing, isn't it? But these are things we have to learn, and they may not come naturally, as I said, but we learn to.
Yeah,
And it helps bring us together. And then, of course, there are the common ones where we share, like the traveling thing. We share that in common.
That's
so
right.
that one, there's no issue. But where you really put in the effort into your marriage is when you don't really have an interest, but for the sake of the person, you learn to have an interest. I think that's where the commitment comes in.
Yeah, that's very, very true, and I agree with you on that one. Let me give this tip to our men. It's something I'm still learning, and it's called active listening. It's a skill that if you learn to do so, you would really find peace in your marriage. Active listening. Not just listening for listening's sake, but really, women are emotional by nature. God created them that way. When a woman is telling you that she's going through this, sometimes, or most 99.9%, they really mean that they are going through that. With men, we like to just quickly come in and solve problems and be technical about issues that women are telling us. And we don't really see it from their emotional point of view. So we miss a lot. So when I talk about active listening, it's not just hearing, but really, really, really understanding what they're saying. Put yourself in their shoes so that, you understand them for who they are, who God created them. And I'm still learning. It's a journey. Hey.
Yeah, we all are. So I hope that these few tips have helped. Definitely, we will come back with some more as the days and the weeks go by. I hope you're enjoying the videos. Please subscribe to the channel. Help us hit the first 1,000. So share with your friends, share it into your groups, your contacts. And yeah, please like the video.
Peace out, guys.
Thank
Have a great
you.
weekend.
Bye.